Hello everyone and welcome to Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloye in Lagos. The electoral umpire INEC is explaining what happened in its conduct of the 2019 general elections. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, today gave a presentation of a report on the 2019 general elections. According to Professor Yakubu, the report is a review of the 2019 elections based on the outcome of the Commission's retreats and stakeholder engagement. And it says that this is to help give the Commission a better outing in the future. Before we get into a deeper look into the crisis rocking the APC, let's check out some of your stories on our political roundup.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has paid a visit to the President Muhammadu Buhari to brief him on the level of destruction suffered by the state in the aftermath of the NSAS protest. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who presented a pictorial report of the damage on properties and facilities carried out by rampaging youths to President Buhari, left the State House without talking to journalists. 8 new justices of the Supreme Court have today been sworn in by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Ibrahim Muhammad, and has warned them not to allow their personal ambition becloud their sense of judgment. A federal high court sitting in Owerri, the Imo State capital, has nullified the candidacy of Mr. Frank Ibezim as the winner of the APC primaries for Imo North Senatorial District by-election held on the 3rd of September 2020. Delivering judgment, the presiding judge, Justice Garba Ringim, ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to immediately substitute Mr. Frank Ibezim's name with that of Senator Ifeanyi Ararume, who he says is the authentic and rightful winner of the primary election. The governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has charged churches across the country to speak up against societal ills and injustice so leaders can take a cue to correct anomalies associated with government's policies and programs.
Thank you, everyone, for staying with us. Yesterday, the secretary of the APC Caretaker Committee, Senator Akpan Odoere, told us yesterday that there is no crisis in the party. But today, a group called the Concerned APC Members says that there is a crisis in the party. In fact, they are making allegations against the Caretaker Committee. The APC Caretaker Committee came into office about 5 months ago when the leadership crisis of the party was very intense. The neck of the party disbanded the then leadership and gave the Buni-led Caretaker Committee a 6-month window or calendar to work in fixing the problem facing the party, which includes reconciliation and other issues. And part of it is also to constitute a national convention of the party. But members of the party are already agitated. The Caretaker Committee feels that they are right on course. But tonight, the story is different. Today, we'll be speaking with one of the aggrieved or concerned members of the APC. Is a former governorship candidate, Mr. Okpoku Ogenyi. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogenyi, for joining us tonight on the program. Let's begin the conversation by asking,
thank you very much.
From your own point of view, is there a crisis in your party?
Yes, as we speak, a crisis is brewing up in the party based on the fact that the caretaker committee haven't spent 5 months. It's not ready to even initiate a process of convention. You will agree with me that 5 months ago, we led the protest that led to the sacking of the then National Working Committee led by Comrade Adams Oshomole because of lack of internal democracy within the party, lack of focus, and the dwindling popularity of our party. So a caretaker committee was put in place with just 2 mandates to rebuild the party, organize convention, and hand over within 6 months. Today, they have spent 5 good months as caretaker committee members, yet there is no process of convention. As we speak, the party caretaker committee is even going by even extending, not just extending its tenure, but seeking to dissolve a legitimately elected state ESCO from the states to local government and the ward level. The same party caretaker committee, as we speak, have awarded contract of 1.5 billion naira for a new registration of members for a party that have existed for over 7 years. Instead of talking about updating the voters register or even revalidating membership of the party, they are talking about a fresh registration, which is a clear case of new crisis in the party. Thank you.
Let's take the issue one after the other so we don't muddle them up. You're one of the leaders from your state, and you were involved in the ousting of the former leadership of the party. So you're bringing up some issues now. The party has given the caretaker committee a 6-month calendar to work. So let's look at some of the terms of reference given to the caretaker committee, and we can take it up from there. First and foremost, the caretaker committee was saddled with a reconciliation effort, and which Senator Uduadaya said they have really gone far and has done that. From your own assessment, how can you assess the caretaker committee on the reconciliation effort?
The caretaker committee have not achieved much in the area of reconciliation because as we speak, Senator Marafa made it very clear yesterday that the party secretariat in Zamfara State still maintain 2 separate secretariats. You agree with me that recently the governor of Ekiti State was also suspended by a faction of the party, which show very clear that 2 factions of the party still exist in Ekiti. It also happened in Rivers. So where is the reconciliation?
So for you, reconciliation or the issue of disagreement within the party is still ongoing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
But if the neck of the party has given the caretaker committee a 6-month window to work, it's not yet the end of 6 months. Why are you agitated at this point about that?
You must start clapping before somebody will dance. Now, having spent 5 months, the caretaker committee ought to have set up the convention planning committee and the various convention committee working in tandem with the principle or the mandate that will be given to them to work out a feasible and workable convention. By this hour, for a convention of December, aspirants are supposed to have known the zoning system within the party, where the national chairman is going, secretary, and what have you. And for other aspirants to come out openly to campaign around the state. Remember, you will need to campaign around the 36 states, including FCT, to win a national election of the party. And there is no such move, nothing, no timetable, no arrangement. The party is silent. The national secretary was here yesterday. He was not even bold to speak up on the December convention.
So, you've moved to the issue of convention. I was going to come to those issues one after the other, so we don't confuse the viewing public who are watching and on the sideline who may not be privy to some of the details of what is happening in your party. So let's pick them one after the other so we can look at the solution for your party. So I was talking about reconciliation, which was one of the major reasons why the caretaker committee was set up in the first place. Yesterday, the caretaker secretary told us here that the effort is ongoing. And for example, that effort has brought back the likes of Mr. Dogara back into the party. For you, isn't that satisfactory?
It is not satisfactory. Dogara has been wanting to return back to the party after he faced a series of disappointment in his new party or the former party that he defected to. It is a even clear term that even now, if you allow the former Senate president, he will gladly return to the party. People have seen the integrity of President Muhammadu Buhari. They have seen his steadfastness in managing the party and its crisis. So many of the aggrieved members, ordinarily, immediately after the host of the Oshomole-led working committee, they made interest to return back to the party. So most of the people coming back is not as a result of the caretaker committee, but because the working committee that actually sent them out of the party are already gone.
All right, so let me give three indices to assess your party's caretaker committee on the issue of reconciliation. So if you look at failure, average, and success, how would you rate the reconciliation effort of the caretaker committee?
Yes, I will rate it at average. Average in the sense that there were some minor crises that were ordinarily resolved. As I said earlier, that with the sacking of the Oshomole-led working committee, some aggrieved members ordinarily initiate interest and declare interest and return to the party. So it is also very usual that the working committee, the caretaker committee, haven't approached some of them and say that what you are agitating for that made you to leave the party is no more. So why not return to your former party? So it's an effort they have also made as a concerned party leaders. So I will also say that the reconciliation process, as far as this caretaker committee is concerned, is fair, but not holistically to achieve the success that we have attained in the party in terms of reconciliation so far. And as we speak, I will also reiterate that there is still much to be done in the area of reconciliation of members.
Just take let's take a moment to listen to Senator Uduadaya. If you did not watch yesterday's program, let me refresh our memories about what happened yesterday when Senator Uduadaya told us that everything is fine and they are on course. Take a listen to him.
When we resumed, we realized that one court or two or three of them of judiciary competence actually have ripped up some of our constitution because of some cases that was instituted by some members against one or two persons. We have to really look at the constitution and how to succeed to do it. We have taken into consideration the delegate elections, those who are supposed to be at the convention.
That's a portion of the interview with Senator Uduadaya yesterday. I'd like you to respond to what, if you heard what he said, quickly respond briefly to what Senator Uduadaya said there.
So when you talk about the one or two court cases that have been resolved, the president was very clear during the NEC meeting that sacked the then working committee. He said every pending litigations within the party hereby resolved. And he also said, if you remember, that the primary election in Edo State also stand. And that is what we are working by. So it is not the effort of the caretaker committee that court cases or litigations were being override by other members or maybe let go. So what I'm saying here in the essence is the president made the pronouncement, the NEC abide by it, the NEC adopted it, and the party members also adopted the decision of the president and the National Executive Committee of the party. So it is not the effort of the caretaker committee. Let it be very clear.
All right. You had a press conference today in Abuja, and you made some very wide allegations against the caretaker committee. I'd like to take you up on those allegations you made, also on the issue of the national convention of your party. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, you'll be talking to us about that. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone. We're talking about the crisis rocking the ruling APC yesterday. An executive member of the party said the party is not in crisis. A chieftain of the party tonight is saying the party is in deep crisis. So we're looking at the matter and the issues that have been raised in the past days. Mr. Okwoku Ogayi is a former APC governorship candidate in Benue State, and he's here talking to us as a member of the APC Aggrieved and Concerned group. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogayi, for talking to us tonight. Let's get back to the conversation. You talked about part of the issue, reconciliation issue we spoke before we went on that break. The issue of national convention is another one. The caretaker committee is saying it is not for them to determine a lot of issues issues on the National Convention. It builds on the neck to give them the mandate to do some of these issues. Why are you accusing the caretaker committee of not organizing the National Convention when they clearly state that it is the neck that will determine some of the issues?
It is a clear case of accepting to would have failed. That is what the National Secretary made very clear here yesterday. That you will say after 5 months in office, you are still consulting with party stakeholders to decide on the date of convention. You were given a mandate. Go and reconcile the party. That is, rebuild the party. Then organize a convention and hand over within 6 months. You have spent 5 months. You are not able to come out with a calendar. You are not able to come out with any program that will suggest that convention is by the corner or is coming up even in the next month. And you are saying you are still consulting. For you to be consulting till this moment is a clear case of acceptance of failure of leadership. So there is no basis to say they are consulting with stakeholders. We have 3 governors as members of the caretaker committee. We have even a governor, a serving governor, as the chairman of the caretaker committee. So, which governor are they consulting again? So the governor is there. They attend governors' forums meeting, the progressive governors' meetings. We have some other 7 members of government persons in the caretaker committee, and you are still consulting with stakeholders. The stakeholders were all represented in the formation of the caretaker committee. So you will not take much long to reach out to them in terms of decision making. So for the National Secretary to admit that the caretaker committee is still consulting with stakeholders before they can come out with a feasible plan for convention is a clear acceptance of failure. And it is high time for them to go. If you cannot do the job, resign. If you know you cannot do the job, why not resign? Resign. There are a lot of people, a lot of persons who are willing to take over responsibility. So why not resign and allow people that are focused to do the job?
Do you think the caretaker committee needs perhaps a little more time to achieve the mandate they were given?
Little more time to achieve the mandate they were given? After you have spent 5 months, you are given a mandate of 6 months, and you have spent 5 months, you still need more time. So the more time is seeking for extension of their office. Yes, there is every rumor that the caretaker committee is working behind closed door to extend its tenure to another year, which is 2021 December. So we will resist it. We shall resist it. As party members, we will not allow such. And are we to state that the caretaker committee should not use the name of President Muhammadu Buhari to perpetuate illegality by extending its tenure. So the president is not in support of any extension of tenure. The president is not in support of any sabotage within the party. The president's concern and interest is for a rebranded APC, for a rejuvenated APC, a gallant APC, an APC that will win election at all times. So the president cannot be part of such a charade. So they should stop dragging the image of the president into whatsoever they are trying to do.
Let me quickly ask you.
Their long stay in office.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you suspect, because in your language, the language you use at your press conference and the manner in which you've spoken tonight, it does look like you lack trust in the caretaker committee in some areas. Do you suspect any ulterior motive in the activities and the manner in which the caretaker committee has approached its duties?
Yes, very well. Here, I will display to you, this is a voters register for Ekiti State. This is voters register. This is voters register. You can see this is Benue State voters register. As we speak, the caretaker committee has awarded contract of 1.5 billion naira for a fresh registration of membership instead of updating the existing register. If
do you have evidence of that? Mr. Ogenyi, let me ask you, do you have evidence of that? Are you privy to who took that contract? Who gave it out? Are you privy to do you have evidence to that effect?
As we speak, a sample of the register has been submitted to the party secretariat yesterday. A sample of it has been submitted as we speak. and every plan has been concluded to go into the production of new membership card at a time that the world is in recession, at a time that the government has spent so much on palliative for Nigerians, that instead of investing this 1.5 billion naira on the welfare of our party members across the 774 local government, you are bringing it to start a fresh registration of membership of the party that we already have, a party that is already digitalized. APC is the only digitalized party and the first digitalized party in Nigeria that the data center has a collection of every data as far as party registration is concerned. So we are aware. We are also aware of the plot to dissolve the state ESCO, local government ESCO, and ward ESCO of the party. It will not stand.
So to wrap up the conversation tonight, because you've raised a lot of issue, which of course we would like to also get the reaction of the party, the caretaker committee on some of these issues. But what do you think is the way forward for your party? Because you have given a 72-hour ultimatum to your party to rescind on some of this decision. But then, what way forward are you proposing?
The way forward for my party is for the caretaker committee, for whatsoever reason, should suspend the planned new registration of membership. And even if need be, it shouldn't even be this caretaker committee to revalidate membership. The caretaker committee should concentrate in the remaining 1 month, organize convention, duly elect working committee members, and hand over power, and let the new leadership take over the issue of the validation of membership of our party and other issues that we believe
Mr. Ogenyi, should this not happen, if this does not happen, what would be your next step of action?
If this does not happen, if we do not see the notice of convention within 72 hours for a fresh convention to take place by December, we will first go to court. Thereafter, we shall occupy the national secretariat of our party for as long as our litigation lingers in court until the working committee, the caretaker committee leaves.
All right, so I suspect something here, and in 10 seconds, are you playing with fire because the NEC has warned that nobody should go to court?
Yes. The NEC warned that nobody should go to court, and we all abide by it. But when the caretaker committee that is saddled with the responsibility of conducting a convention has failed to do it, then if he that go for equity must come with a clean hands. So if the caretaker committee refuses to do it, we will also do that. But if they rescind and they bring notice of convention, we shall all abide by the decision. Thank you very much.
Okpoku Ogenyi, former APC governorship candidate in Benue State and a chieftain of the APC, thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight. And we leave it tonight, and it's Friday. America is still deciding who will become their president. The president is alleging fraud, and the Democratic candidate is hopeful of bringing the president-elect. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Sharon Kimale. Bye-bye.